I've been in post for about 12 months and I'm most proud of probably three things. The first is converting my manifesto into the police and crime plan, which I think is absolutely fabulous, and that's a complete team effort that has done that. I'm also very proud of having gone through the selection process for a new Chief Constable and delighted that Sarah Crew has been appointed as the new Chief Constable. And then finally, and perhaps not known to the public, a complete change in the relationship with the police and crime panel. I think the most enjoyable thing that I have done over the last 12 months has been the interaction with the public, the engagement with the public, meeting those incredibly special people who work for different charities in the community, those unselfish people who work so hard to make all our lives better. In fact, there's not enough time in the day. It's an all-encompassing job, but there are issues with the constabulary that need to be gripped and dealt with and not shied away from. You could argue disproportionality is one of those, violence against women and girls. Focusing on those Pelian principles of policing, that the community are the police are the community, and consent, I think is very important. And going back to those two issues around violence against women and girls and the piece around disproportionality, and that leads on to legitimacy, is something that we all need to focus on. I'm a people person. I relax on a weekend by doing the gardening. I love gardening, and we have a fantastic new puppy, and taking the puppy out for walks and trying desperately to train it to do simple things like retrieve and actually come back when it sees another puppy, because it just shoots off and wants to play with it. The reason I chose to do it is I met a number of people on the doorstep when I was a candidate who had suffered from fraud and cybercrime, romance fraud, money flipping issues, and it just seemed that nobody was really focusing on them, and the devastation that that causes to many people is significant. And I felt if I could make a little change and improvement in that area, that would be fantastic. I see the role of PCCs growing as it develops over the next few years, particularly around the local criminal justice area, and in that sphere that will expand. So that's talking about the courts, it's talking about the CPS and the probation service, and our involvement with that is definitely going to improve and expand. Oh, I'm terribly dyslexic and I can't spell toffee. I can spell toffee, but that's about it. I think probably three things. I want to really focus on the police engagement with the public, particularly in rural areas, parish councils, town councils, and engagement there. I think that's very important. I want to focus also on our capability to deal with cybercrime and expand that area. And I think lastly, to, as I said before, really improve that low-level leadership education and management training. Around the business of the police and crime plan, about uplift, about local remedy teams that can go and focus on the local element, but above all, getting a culture change that focuses on prevention of crime, that Pelian principle of preventing crime, rather than just focusing on chasing criminals and locking people up. All-encompassing, it's challenging, and it's been absolutely fabulous.